Comics and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. I just realized I refilled my water right before the show, only to have left it in the other room. Good morning. Hi. I'm going to be so dehydrated throughout this whole thing. So if I make that sound, I'm so sorry. I've got like 3 sips of coffee left. We'll make it work. We will make it work. I promise. I've got some strawberries from the yard. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm always rambling. Hello, good morning. How are you? It's me, Danny, back with your daily dose of dork for Friday. It is now officially the weekend. If you hear the tweeps, the Eggsmen are behind me, aka the peeps. We call them the peeps. And I've committed the cardinal sin of naming my livestock. I've named them Jubilee, Storm, Rogue, and Gambit. So those 4 will probably not get devoured. Oopsie doodles. Well, we got a good show for you guys today. I'm excited to talk about a few things. Big thanks to Kino for all his hard work, especially this week. He's got some good stuff for us, some possible stuff cooking up. Pots in the fire. Is that how the saying goes? No. Irons in the fire. Let's say good morning to the chat. Make sure you do me a huge solid and hit that like button. Okay? Give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy content. Yeah, big news. Big news. We are over 4,000 subscribers now. I did not expect that to happen. Not at all. I think we're at 4,010 subscribers as we speak. I was at, I think, 3,950 last night. Woke up to this. Total shock. Thank you guys so much for sticking around here these last 5 years, dealing with all of this. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. You guys are the real heroes. Now, if we can get those watch hours up, we'll be unstoppable. But I do need like 900 more watch hours, so. Let's say good morning to everyone. Good morning, deranged lunatic. I don't know why I squeaked, but I did. Maybe it's because I'm around the peeps so much. Good morning. Good morning, Penny. Good morning. Good morning, Taco Cat. You sweetheart, you. Good morning. Contributing producer, Nerdling First Class, who's in the back room, Kino. Good morning. And good morning, Loki. Good morning. You should name a chicken Thunderbird. Then you can eat him because no one remembers. I remember Thunderbird. He came out in the same issue that Wolverine and Storm did. And then he died later that issue. But that's a good idea. Good morning, Truth. I've got 1 or 2 of your posts saved for headlines today. So thank you for your help doing the Lord's work out there. All right, guys, we got a few things to discuss. Let's dive into it. Let's see. What are we going to start with? Because I got some things to say, but I'm just so excited that we're over 4,000 subscribers. I can't get over it. Why is it not pulling up my thing? There we go. No. Okay. Now it's working. There we go. See, I know how to use computers. Somewhat. Maybe. Kinda. Okay, I don't really. I just know how to use some programs. I don't know much else. And thank you everyone for all the congrats. I super appreciate that. I mean, this is a lot of work. YouTube is a lot of work. I'm really grateful for the help that Kino has provided lately because it's so much work. And I am like I'm writing the actual script for the question breakdown right now. Like I've done my research and I'm actually writing it and I'm kind of like in the zone with it. So I'm really excited. I think that one's going to turn out really good because I put a lot of research into it. But thank you so much, everyone, for all the congratulations. Fingers crossed we can get that the watch hours up so I can get monetized and have some of this stuff pay for itself. So that would be very helpful to my family because I'm telling you right now, I don't normally pull the curtain back on this very often, but the guilt I feel for spending money on this channel, I feel like I'm stealing from my family. I'm not kidding. I really do. So if I get monetized, that would alleviate that feeling for me because, dude, it is a very, very strong sense of guilt to the point where I've almost quit a couple of times because I felt so bad that I was taking away from my family, like taking family money for this hobby of mine. And maybe it's just mom guilt. I don't know. But it almost made me quit a couple times. Yeah. So if I get monetized, that will alleviate the mom guilt a lot, I think. All right, guys, let's get into some headlines. In truth, you can see you're like the first thing I've got pulled up here. I strongly believe that this movie, Superman, James Gunn's Superman, one of the first DCU movies. Technically, Blue Beetle was the first DCU movie. I mean, he may have changed his mind again on that. I don't know. But he has said that in the past that was the first DCU movie. Then we got Creature Commandos, which he said is the official start of the DCU. And now we've got Superman. I'm really excited for it. I really am. I respect the past of Superman. I loved Henry Cavill. I loved Christopher Reeve. That is my Superman because I'm old. Yeah. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from the Superman marketing. And I have said this whole time, I think it's going to be $1 billion movie because Superman is the most recognized character all over the world. All over the world. I mean, you could pick some village in the middle of nowhere where they don't even have an idea of the English language and show them the Superman badge, the S badge, and they will know exactly what that is. I'm telling you. So I really believe this is going to be $1 billion movie. But Truth posted today, 5 minutes ago, it says that according to Jeff Snyder, Superman is currently tracking for a $155 to $175 million opening weekend. And that would be bigger than Snyder's Man of Steel. Kino's checking. It is possible. It is possible. And Loki says, referencing the trailer, yeah, but if Superman goes to that country, it's U.S. intervention, according to Lois Lane. She has a point. She has a point. And what she's doing with those is she's not necessarily saying that that's her opinion. She is saying, she's asking these questions like a good journalist would, to play devil's advocate, to say, what would you say to that? How do you feel about the people who do say these things? And it's a good question. It's a good question by a good journalist. Good morning, Nerdling, First Class, and Red 5 Brother Backyard TARDIS. Yes, extra exuberance. We are at 4,010 subscribers as of this exact moment, I believe. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And Backyard TARDIS has been with the channel, a subscriber of the channel for almost 5 years now. So bless you, sir, for sticking it out with me. You're the best. And I was just talking about how excited I am about the question breakdown because I'm right in the middle of writing the actual script and I'm like in the zone on it. Like I'm super into it. So I think it's going to be really good. And it better be because you have waited so long for this. And I've just been a pain in the butt. So I'm sorry, but I'm working on it. I promise it's my thing now. It's like I'm really into it. But yeah, I think these numbers are pretty much on par. I think it's going to be $1 billion movie. I know a few of you don't agree with me that it'll probably come in just under $1 billion, but I feel very strongly it's going to be $1 billion or more. And that's based on recognition alone that people all over the world are, and that's global for me. I'm saying global. A global $1 billion movie because so many people across the world immediately recognize the Superman symbol. If you disagree with me, that's cool. That's cool. Truth says if word of mouth and critic scores are great, then those numbers are going up. He's right. I agree entirely. I do. Speaking of Superman, y'all know this made my day. Now, do I think James Gunn is terrible at social media? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think I'm terrible at social media. I do really stupid things. All the time. I say stupid things. I embarrass myself constantly. I think that's kind of my job as a middle-aged woman. But this got me down in the cockles of my heart. As you know, James Gunn is from St. Louis. I am from St. Louis. We grew up in kind of same-ish areas around the same time. This is a poster he has posted. See, embarrassing myself again. He posted this, and it says, "Hey hometown, this one's for you. Look up STL, St. Louis." And I love that he abbreviated it STL because it's such a St. Louis thing to do. See, embarrassing myself. And it is Superman sitting on a ledge looking out over downtown St. Louis. And we've got a SLU building here with the green roof. That's something my grandma used to tell me when I was little. If you see a green roof, that's a SLU building. That's the old Mercantile building. I bet if you zoom in really, really close, you can see the triangles in the windows. The arch, of course. This round building. This is a hotel right here. Oh my gosh. They've even got like those old buildings. I don't even know what they're called, but they're old red brick, like from the 30s, like Art Deco, and they've got Art Deco stuff painted on the sides. Beautiful. That's the old Capitol building right here, just beside Crypto's leg. This is super cool to me. It's just super cool. And to see people like I can't pronounce names, which is ironic because I have a crazy hard last name to pronounce. Hideo Kojima shared it. And that was like, everyone loves St. Louis today. All a thousandth ghost is like some love for Denver. Listen, thousand ghosts, he's not from Denver. He's from St. Louis. Let us have this. I swear to God, if he does this poster for every major city in the United States, I'm going to be pissed. This is supposed to be special. And there are times where I feel like he doesn't give a shit about St. Louis anymore, especially when he says he grew up around farms that had double wides. Like, stop it. You did not. Stop shitting on St. Louis. But when he does something like this just makes me happy. Central City is, I think it's supposed to be kind of St. Louis. It's supposed to be this, but then again, Metropolis is supposed to be like Kansas City or Chicago. I think they're all just kind of amalgamations of major Midwestern cities. So St. Louis is definitely an influence. Buenos dias, Fernando. Big day. We hit over 4,000 subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Truth. Showing love to his hometown. Gunn making everything about himself again. LOL. I love it because St. Louis doesn't get a lot of love. It doesn't get a lot of attention. And when it does, it's usually cows, which is stupid as hell. Because look at this. This is downtown St. Louis. You're looking at it. And I don't see a whole lot of room for cows, do you? It's a major sprawling metropolis. All right. It's definitely not as big as LA with your 12 million people crammed in one little area. But this is most definitely a city. Okay. What if James Gunn has Nelly on the soundtrack? Oh, Andre. Andre is his name. He's funny story. I used to hang out in U City, University City. We call it the U City Loop. And I used to hang out there, and U City was great because you always had artists everywhere, and they would stand on the corner and hand you flyers or CDs or whatever. Listen, I was a teenager in the 90s, okay? And Andre was one of them. Nelly was one of them. And he was not exactly friendly or polite, but he worked hard. He worked really hard at growing his career. So a lot of respect for him. Deranged Lunatic says, should have made it where he's watching a Cardinals game. Dope. Yes. This is Cardinals Nation, everyone. That would have been dope. Put a Cardinals hat on him. So cool. But this makes me happy. Good for him for doing this. St. Louis needs all the love it can get because the rest of the world doesn't think we are that important. So this is beautiful. I love it. I want to get this printed out as a real poster and hang it up. I think I might do that. I think I might actually do that. So hooray. Okay, we're going to skip past that. All right. Moving on, guys. So we've got some more casting rumors for X-Men. We've got a few. And I want to pull something up real quick. I really should have had a balanced breakfast before I did this because I'm kind of hungry. Okay, so Daisy Edgar Jones, you may know her from she was the lead in Twisters. And another one, Where the Crawdads Sing. I like that movie. That was a really good movie. So she's a good actress. I like her, but she's apparently one of the names in the running for Rogue, as well as Margaret Qualley. Some good choices. I could see her as Rogue. I mean, she did great in Where the Crawdads Sing, and that was based in Louisiana. Hold on, strawberry. I'm so hungry. I could see her. I could totally see her playing Rogue. I think Daisy Edgar Jones could do a better Southern accent. She did great in Where the Crawdads Sing. But that's one of our casting rumors, as well as Patrick Schwarzenegger as Cyclops, and that what's his name? This guy, the Unboxed PhD film I want to keep saying PDH. He keeps posting things claiming that it's Patrick Schwarzenegger as Cyclops. Oh, that's fake. That's fake. I have seen the rumors that Coleman Domingo and Denzel Washington getting cast as Professor X and Magneto, but I'm not entirely, what's the word, convinced that they're 1000% accurate. Yeah, it's a huge rumor. It might be diarrhea. They're just causing diarrhea online to get people talking about it. Because if they made Coleman Domingo and Denzel Washington Professor X and Magneto, they would have to completely change their entire story. Do I think they could both pull it off with the level of acting they possess in their bones? Sure. But I think the Jewish people have had enough taken from them. I don't think we need to take one of the greatest supervillains of all time and his trauma away from him too. Like, let's not do that anymore. I feel like Magneto's story is one of the most important and heartbreaking stories in all of comic books. And it would be a crime to take that from him. Deranged Lunatic says, they should have called it Where the Crawdad Screams, as they've been thrown into hot boiling water. Yes, Denzel Washington is rumored to play Achebe in Black Panther 3, and I am here for it. That would be amazing. He would be incredible as batshit crazy Achebe. He would be fantastic. That's what I'm here for. But as well as Daisy is Rogue, there's also a rumor that she could be Jean Grey. And none of this is confirmed. There's also, like I said, Cyclops. Somewhat, there's rumors that he'll be Harris Dickinson, played by Harris Dickinson, but this Unboxed PhD film guy keeps saying that it's already Patrick Schwarzenegger and that he's already filming scenes for it. I have zero confirmation on that. Zero. And I think he's only posted one picture that you could clearly see Patrick's face, but he was wearing like normal glasses. And there's nothing else around in the picture or the scene or location that would indicate to me it is for Doomsday or some X-Men related project. It's just Patrick Schwarzenegger in a yellow jacket with glasses. So no proof whatsoever that is true. But I think it would be an excellent move. I think Patrick Schwarzenegger would be a fantastic Cyclops. Good morning, Omari. We're at 4,010 subscribers, sir. You want Jean Grey, he says. Cast Christina Hendricks. I don't care that she's 50. Cast her as Jean. That's funny. Love it. Yeah, I think that's the only new rumors we have on the X-Men casting. Again, if you post Coleman or post if you cast Coleman Domingo and Denzel Washington as Professor X and Magneto respectively, you're going to have a serious problem on your hands. And I think the MCU is to a point now where they're like, you know what? We need to stop messing with people so much. Like, maybe we should throttle back like a tad. So I don't think I don't think that's a risk they'd be willing to take at this time. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Doesn't happen so often, but it is very possible. I could just be talking out of my ass. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I don't feel like it is a risk they're willing to take at this time. Christina Hendricks is beautiful. She's gorgeous. I will never say she is not. But they've already done that. You're missing the point of what I'm saying. And one, Shala Ball was Silver Surfer in an alternate reality briefly. And they've already said she's not going to be the main MCU Silver Surfer. And they are in a different reality. So there's all of that. And this was all written and made before they bombed like 100 times. Because they're all in a different universe. And they're coming to ours at the end of the movie. That's why. I don't know. I didn't write it. But I know that by the end of the movie, they're coming to our reality. And Deranged Lunatic, yes, very briefly for like 5 issues. But I don't think they would risk changing so drastically 2 characters that are, I mean, practically staples of Marvel Comics. They are so iconic and recognizable. It would be like changing Wonder Woman and Batman. It wouldn't go over well. And they've had so many issues like that lately. I don't think they want to deal with that again. But again, I don't work there, so I don't know for sure. Truth says Thunderbolts kind of spoiled the ending of Fantastic Four. Right? Like, we all know what's going to happen now. Like, that was a choice, Marvel. Omari says, if Denzel was Magneto, would he still be a Holocaust survivor? Or would Marvel have to change it to where he's a former slave? See, that's what I'm saying. If they cast Denzel and Domingo, they would have to change it to something like that. They would have to change it entirely. Or changing Snape. Exactly. Adam Driver was right there. Adam Driver was right there. Yeah, that's a whole other franchise and franchise issue. But anyway, that's what I've got on the X-Men stuff for today. And apparently they also want Spider-Man in Doomsday, but Sony is playing hardball because that's how Sony makes its money. Certainly not by making their Spider-Man universe films. They are playing hardball with Disney to allow Disney to use Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. Because remember, Disney Marvel does not own the licensing rights, the film licensing rights to Spider-Man. That's also why you're not going to get Kingpin in a movie, because he is a Spider-Man villain. And Disney Marvel does not own the rights, the film rights to those characters. So, of course, Sony is going to Sony and play some hardball to make a nice payday. And this is coming from Daniel RPK. He's not always right, but this I completely believe. It just totally makes sense. And it's a good business move on Sony's end, because they're not making money on their Spider-Man movies except for, the Spider Across the Spider-Verse stuff. So it makes sense they would try to get as much as they can out of another deal with Disney. What do you guys think? I really wish I wouldn't have forgotten my water. And it's not like I can send one of the the eggsman here to go get it for me. Good morning, Brogu. We're over 4,000 subscribers today. Hooray! Hooray! Omari says, would they have to reintroduce Spider-Man to the Avengers since Doctor Strange wiped everyone's memories of Peter? Exactly. Like, how's that going to play out? Nobody knows who he is. Loki asks, is that third Spider-Verse movie even still happening? It is, from what I hear. Just taking a very long time. Deranged Lunatic says, have Olive bring me water. Yeah, I don't think she's ready for that either. And Keto reminds us that you can't have Secret Wars without Spider-Man. And don't think Sony doesn't know that. That's why they're playing such hardball. Just saying. And thank you, Brogu. That means a whole lot. Thank you very much. Our big push right now is to get the watch hours up. Watch hours! But if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about Spider-Man Sony stuff, drop it in the chat below. We're moving on. It seems that HBO Max, IMDb is kind of spoiled a surprise. And we kind of knew this. You know, we've talked about this before, but Millie Alcock has been listed as a cast member for the Superman movie. So Supergirl is in Superman, as we all suspected. So we're probably going to get a first look at Supergirl here very, very soon, like an official first look, not like a behind the scenes leak, but probably going to get an official first look at Supergirl within the next month or so. I'm just saying. Fernando says, why is Sony always playing hardball just to collect them checks? Because it's a business and they're not making money off Morbius and Madam Web and Craven. So they're doing what they got to do to make that money. Make that money. Omari, Clark will tell Kara to get this damn dog away from him. That's right. Crypto's supposed to be her dog in this movie. And we only see her for like a second. But I'm betting because she's in the movie and it's coming out soon, we're going to get a first official look of Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Makes sense, right? Speaking of Superman, we got these couple of scenes that aired during the NBA playoffs. Really just a couple of frames, but a nice close-up of the S on David Cornsweet, Superman's chest, and Lois Lane looking around, very concerned. Very concerned. I'm sure she is if there's a giant kaiju terrorizing the city. What do I expect the ticket sales for Superman? I think it's going to do $1 billion globally. I think Superman is one of the most anticipated films in years. Superman is one of the most recognizable, if not the most recognizable character all over the world. I think it's going to do $1 billion. Going to do $1 billion. Lois is perfectly cast. She is. I love Rachel Brosnahan for this role. Always have. I think she's a tremendous actress, and I think she's going to be a perfect Lois Lane. Just saying. We've had some good Lois Lanes in the past. Erica Durance was great on Smallville. Yeah. Brogu says, I think it's going to do $1 billion. So sorry. I think it's going to do $1 billion because everybody and their mother is anticipating this movie. So, everyone is going to see it. I mean, even just out of curiosity's sake, people are going to go see it. Even the morbid curiosity, even the haters, they're going to see it out of curiosity. Deranged Lunatic, no matter how good it is, there's still some people not going to see it because it doesn't have Henry Cavill in it. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't understand that. It's not like people refused to go see Man of Steel because it wasn't Christopher Reeve or Brandon Ruth. That's just silly. That's silly. People get older, they move on, they go to different jobs. This is nothing abnormal. This is nothing that hasn't happened before. So I maintain that the Snyder cultists, and I want to say there is a difference. There's a difference between a Snyder fan. I'm a Snyder fan. I like Snyder. I like his stuff. But there's a difference between a Snyder fan and a Snyder cultist. And the Snyder cultists are not DC fans. They're Snyder fans. And that's it. That's it. And to sit and wish for a DC property to fail, that's not a DC fan. And Truth has an excellent point. This is something we've talked about before. If this makes bank, if it does $1 billion, you're probably not going to see the Matt Reeves stuff again. Like I don't think the Batman 2 is coming out. I don't think it's happening. I've said that for a couple of years. There's too much going on. There is a lot of talk about Matt Reeves being ill, seriously ill, and his creative vision and James Gunn's creative vision don't mesh at all. And Gunn has said from the start that he doesn't want to confuse normies. He doesn't want to confuse audiences. And if we have the Batman, Robert Pattinson, and then we have the normal DCU Batman, it's going to confuse normies. So I just don't think it's going to happen. And if it does make $1 billion, then that's just guaranteed. Loki says pretty much what I was saying earlier. Snyder weirdos will still watch it. They'll just keep trashing it online. They will. They will. And I don't understand why they are taking it as disrespect or ignoring Henry Cavill. I don't understand that. Nobody said that about Christopher Reeve when Henry Cavill got cast. It's just different. It's not better or worse. It's just different. It's not disrespecting Henry Cavill by any means. I do enjoy Henry Cavill's portrayal. I liked those movies. I have a lot of respect for that. It's just over. And there's literally nothing I can do about it. So what am I going to do? Sit here and just stew and be miserable? Or check out the new thing that's coming down the pipeline. I can't wrap my brain around that whatsoever. Truth says, I think Snyder would be good for the Authority film, and I completely agree with you. I think that's what he's going to be doing. I do. I think Snyder's actually going to be doing the Authority film because Snyder has met with Gunn a couple times. He's been at the DCU offices and they posted about it. I think he's going to do that. Good morning, Dom. What if Zack Snyder directed Batman 2? That's a huge what if. That's a huge, huge what if. I think he's going to do the Authority. Truth. Cavill is now Highlander. Imagine sweaty Cavill with a sword and Queen playing in the background. I mean, God, it better be Queen. It better be Queen. But he's doing that. He's doing Voltron. He's doing Warhammer. Henry Cavill is living his best nerdy life right now. And we should be happy for him. He's had a baby. He's grilling every Sunday. He's getting to live out his greatest nerdy fantasy by doing Warhammer and Highlander and Voltron. This dude is happy, happy, happy. Let him be happy. Be happy for him. Respect what he's given you. Be happy with what he has given you. You can watch Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and Justice League anytime you want, all day long, every day. No one can ever take that from you. No one can ever take away what he has given us in the past. And we should be very appreciative and grateful for that, but be happy for him at the same time. I mean, hell, he could possibly be James Bond. You don't know. We're not done getting Henry Cavill stuff. If you're a Henry Cavill fan, be a Henry Cavill fan. Be a fan of all his work, not just the one thing. That feels disrespectful. Good morning, Maria. Good morning. We're over 4,000 subscribers as of today. Woo! Yay! Brogu says, I love Zack Snyder movies, and I don't understand anyone not seeing Superman because Henry Cavill is not in it. I think that people are just way too unreasonable, and I agree with you. They're being a little unreasonable. Like, unrealistic, I think, is a better way. It's just unrealistic. The man is pushing 50. Okay? He's pushing 50. So let him be happy doing what he's doing now and support his work now. If you love Henry Cavill and you're such a big Henry Cavill fan, then support what he's doing now. Support his work. Support his life. Support his lifestyle choices. Come on. Come on. All right, let's move on. So I can go on about this forever. We got other stuff to talk about. We're already 40 minutes in. We got rumors, or not rumors, actual casting updates for Sunrise on the Reaping, the next Hunger Games installment. We got Maya Hawke. Why did I say that weird? Maya Hawke, Kelvin Harrison Jr. They will both be playing Wiress and BT in Sunrise on the Reaping. So for you Hunger Games fans, there's that. Previously played by Amanda Plummer and Jeffrey Wright. I love Amanda Plummer. She is such an amazing, versatile actress. Her father, Christopher Plummer, I was just thinking about him today, like how I constantly forget that he was in The Sound of Music. Like, he was in The Sound of Music, and he was one of the greatest Klingon villains of all time in the Star Trek movies. So great legacy acting family there. And Jeffrey Wright, come on, need I say more? So Maya Hawke and Kelvin Harrison Jr. will be playing the younger versions of those characters. Any Hunger Games fans in the chat? I know it's kind of a big deal right now. It's got a huge fan base. I mean, I think it's okay. Like, it's not, I don't hate it, but I'm not like, it's not like I haven't made my life about it. But if you guys have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about the Hunger Games casting, leave it in the chat. Chat. Here's some of the behind the scenes stuff that Unbox PhD Film has been posting. Supposedly, this is Avengers Doomsday, and this is a downed Sentinel. And we got a couple of these. This is a little closer. See the neck. Lots of broken statues. Maria is a huge fan of Hunger Games. Awesome. What's your favorite thing about Hunger Games, Maria? Tell me about that. Lots of shots. This is all basically just shots of the same footage we just saw. Could be Danger Room. Could be. Truth says, I'm starting to think Unbox PhD is actually Kevin Feige. Which, how many times have I said, like, listen, if you think the studios aren't aware of these leaks, you're way too naive. Good morning, Tombe. Congrats on 4K subs, sausage. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for keep calling me sausage because it's super cute. So this is what we've got so far on the leaks. This looks a lot like the leaks we saw earlier with the big I don't know what you would call it, like the ground, like all the explosions in the ground. Maria, her favorite thing about Hunger Games is the Jennifer Lawrence. I have a friend who knows her and just loves her and says she's actually fairly down to earth. She's kind of an airhead. I think that's funny. Kind of adorable. Oh, y'all know I love this. James Gunn posted this on Threads, and I wish I would have saved or sent the actual screenshot to my computer, which I didn't do it. But someone asked him for updates on Batman and Wonder Woman, and he said some very, very promising updates, but not to be shared publicly yet. I think they've cast Wonder Woman. I think they've cast her. I think it's I can't say her name either. She was Bix in Andor. Ariona. Yeah. I think Ariona is Wonder Woman. But he says it's very promising stuff, but not to be shared publicly yet. I think she'd be a good choice. I wish we could find someone who, I wish they'd cast someone who's like actually Greek, you know, with the tall, statuesque, blue eyes, black hair. I did. And she said she owes James Gunn everything. I forgot. I give my strawberry tops to the eggsmen, the baby chickens. So I think she's Wonder Woman. Y'all know I love Wonder Woman. She's my favorite. She's my girl. When I was in my 20s, my kids' playroom was basically just plastered Wonder Woman posters all over. And throughout my 20s and 30s, my bedroom we called it the Wondy room because all my Wonder Woman stuff was in there. It was just plastered everywhere. When Dave and I started dating, I felt bad because I had Wonder Woman sheets and blankets and everything. It's like, I feel like, you know, my curtains, everything. It's like, oh, Dave comes over, he probably feels like he's dating a middle schooler or something. I need to get some grown-up sheets. So I did. That was the sacrifice I made. He didn't ask me to do it. I just did it. I felt bad. Gunder Woman. That's funny. That's really funny, Dom. Gunder Woman. But anyway, I think it's Ariona. I think she's playing Wonder Woman. Truth. I wonder what direction they would be going with Wonder Woman. Listen, if you guys haven't read Wonder Woman Historia, read it now. That's the direction they're going. And Wonder Woman isn't necessarily in Wonder Woman Historia. She is and she's not. It's more about how she came about rather than about her per se. But that is what they're basing the Paradise Lost series on, is Wonder Woman Historia. And that is just an absolutely amazing choice. It's such a good comic. It's one of the best comics to come out in years. Oh, enjoy your weekend, Brogu. Thank you so much for coming by. I really, really appreciate it. I do. I still have the Wonder Woman pillowcases and sheets. I do. They're here. My daughter used them, and I still have the curtains. That's who I think it is. That's who I think it is, Maria. I think it's her. Loki, I bought some George Perez Wonder Woman comics last month. Haven't got to it yet. I have a bunch of those right over there on that shelf. He's amazing. One of the most beautiful Wonder Womans you'll ever see. Promise you. Promise. Okay. Okay. And before we dive into our main topic, got some bad news for Game of Thrones fans. If you were looking forward to a Night of the Seven Kingdoms this year, it's not happening. They're pushing it off to next year, which means it will come out the same year as House of the Dragon Season 3. I mean, as long as it's good, as long as it's being pushed back for quality reasons, I'm good. But I'm getting way too old for this 2 to 3 to 4 years in between seasons and spinoffs and all this nonsense. I'm old, man. I'm going to forget. And then I'm going to lose interest. Kind of lame. That's exactly what I said. Omari. Meanwhile, is George done writing yet? When I saw this, I shared it and was like, we've heard this song before, and, tag Winds of Winter. We've been waiting for Winds of Winter for like 20-something years. Any day now, man. Like, is Night of the Seven Kingdoms turning into the live action version of Winds of Winter? But any Game of Thrones fans in the chat? I am a huge Game of Thrones fan. I've read the books. I used to do like a cosplay scripted show called Inside the Small Council, where we pretended like we were the interim small council and discuss the events of that week's episode. It was a lot of work though, because I was having to write a new script every week. It was so much. Deranged Lunatic, George is never going to finish it. Someone else will have to finish it for him. I believe it. I believe it. Get a ghostwriter. Backyard Chartist, but isn't that the Game of Thrones experience? He's not wrong. Maria says she was a fan for seasons 1 through 5. I hear that a lot. Dan and Dave let us down, and it was like they pieced out the last couple seasons. They're like, bye, we're going to do a Star War, and then didn't do a Star War. Jerks. The last book could possibly be worse than season 8. Do not speak that into existence. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me. All right, guys, let's get into our main topic. Y'all know I've been dying to talk about this. You may recognize her from such projects like Firestarter with Zac Efron. And most recently, one of the best Star Wars series to come out, Skeleton Crew. She was Fern on Skeleton Crew. Well, Buffy herself, Sarah Michelle Gellar, posted on Instagram yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? I get my days confused. Okay. Anyway, she posted on Instagram her officially casting Ryan Kira Armstrong in the lead role of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer sequel series. That's right. Let me see if I can find that for you, because I know I posted it. Let's pull that up. Here we go.
And there's been so many parts with me being out of the country. And there was just sort of like one part of it that I just wanted to ask you and I wanted to make sure that you were okay with.
Okay.
How do you feel about helping me save the world?
Good.
You want to be my chosen one? Will you stand by my side and save the world? Yeah. Ryan, we all love you. And from the second we all saw your tape, there was nobody else in our eyes that could do it, that we wanted to do it with. And I'm so excited to stand by your side and have you be my partner on this journey.
This is so exciting. Oh my god.
So I hope it's a yes.
Yes, for sure, yes. Thank you. I'm so excited.
Welcome to New Sunnydale.
Thanks for having me.
Ryan, you've earned it. There's nobody else in any of our eyes. You are our chosen one.
So honored. Thank you guys. Thank you for trusting me. Yay!
Where's your dad? You want to tell him too?
Dad.
What do you think? Are you ready for this journey?
I just kind of overheard what was happening here. And I know that this is exactly where she's supposed to be right now with you on this insane new journey.
I love the casting choice. I love the casting choice. Medea says she was also excellent in American Horror Story. Ooh, which one? I don't remember. I've seen so many of them. Omari, Sarah hasn't aged a day since Buffy ended. Facts. Yeah, she's an excellent casting choice. She was just like falling apart. I would too. I'd be freaking out too. She was wonderful as Fern in Skeleton Crew. I absolutely love this kid. I think she's great. I do have questions though. She refers to her as the chosen one. Does this mean like is she just making like like a metaphor, you know, like you're my chosen one as in the lead, and using that phrasing because of Buffy was the chosen one, it was used a lot? Or are they changing how the series ended and putting it back to just one Slayer again? Because I'm going to have a problem with that. And I know a lot of Buffy fans will have a problem with that. Fernando says she reminds me of Christian Ortega. I don't know who that is. To look that up. The end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, for those who don't know, so spoiler warning if you haven't watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Dom, how dare you, sir? Exit now. I'm kidding. Please don't leave. I need all the views I can get. I'm about to explain to you. So how Buffy the Vampire Slayer ended was Willow tapped into the power of the scythe, this magical weapon that appeared in the final season. She tapped into the power of the scythe and unlocked every single potential Slayer in the world and made them Slayers. They were all Slayers. So there was no longer just one Slayer anymore in a generation. All potentials became Slayers. So there was an army of them. Buffy, and she does mention it in this thing that she's out of the country. Buffy's out of the country, okay? After the events of the final season, and they go on to explain this in Angel. So I'm not necessarily referencing the comic books because someone gave me shit on TikTok about it, which don't get me started on how mean TikTok is. Those damn kids. Anyway, as confirmed in Angel, Buffy and the Scooby Gang leave the States. They go to Europe and they kind of form their own Watcher Council or Slayer army. And so Buffy is over in Europe, like training and watching over these Slayers while, getting a chance to live her own life at the same time. So are they retconning all of that? Are they taking that away? Because that was a beautiful moment for Buffy. She'd spent her entire adolescence and young adult life living on a knife's edge, constantly being in danger and having all this pressure and weight on her shoulders, being the only one who can save the world. Because if another Slayer popped up, because Buffy did die twice, if another Slayer popped up, one died and then another one went crazy and ended up in a coma, but then came back and helped save the world. It was a lot, okay? It was usually just entirely on Buffy's shoulders. So one of the whole points of creating this big Slayer army was kind of removing that pressure, that weight off Buffy's shoulders, and she could find some joy. She could live somewhat a normal life. That was the whole point. So I'm hoping that by casting Ryan here, they're not going back to the whole just one Slayer, that maybe she's just kind of singled out as, I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. I just don't want them to completely negate everything that happened in season 7 and in season 5 of Angel. Angel has to make a cameo. Angel's not dead. Angel's not dead. He's not dead. Loki sounds as batty as Supernatural, which I've seen all of. You should watch Buffy. Some of it's kind of dated, but for the most part, it still holds up, and it's really great storytelling. Fernando, I wouldn't mind Buffy going back to being the only Slayer again. Really? Oh, that's interesting. Deranged Lunatic. They went to Europe and started a band called Slayer. Backyard TARDIS. Maybe a powerful vampire casts a spell that undoes it. Ooh. Yeah, maybe something like that. That's what I was thinking. Maybe something happened. Like, okay. So I wrote a book about a vampire slayer. Okay. Obviously, there's Buffy inspiration. It's like Buffy, Christopher Pike, Anne Rice inspiration. And in mine, there are many slayers, but in my sequel that I'm working on, they're dying off and they need to replenish. So maybe it's something like that. The master returns or his maker comes back. The master is dead. It would be crazy if he came back. The first evil could come back because it's not like you can kill the first evil. It's like part of existence or reality or whatever, but they did close that hellmouth. There are several other hellmouths. There's one in Cleveland. They talk about it a lot. So could be something like that. How about Eliza Dushku returning? That would be amazing. She retired. I bet Sarah Michelle could talk her into coming back, but I know Eliza Dushku retired, and a lot of it had to do with her faith. Joss Whedon especially was very hard on her because of her faith. It would make her do things she wasn't exactly comfortable with just to kind of screw with her. He did the same thing to Charisma Carpenter. Like, he fired her because she got pregnant. She gets pregnant during season 3 or 4. Season 3, she gets pregnant. And Joss Whedon asked if she was going to keep it. She was married and pregnant. Like, you got to keep it? And she's like, well, yeah. And he threw a fit about it. Like, for real? What an a-hole. But my big thing, I don't care if Joss Whedon is attached at all. And I really don't think he will be, because he's dropped off the face of the earth after everything has come out about him. And everyone from Sarah Michelle Gellar to David Boreanaz, everyone especially James Marston and Charisma Carpenter, have talked about how horrible Whedon was to people on set. How just verbally and even physically abusive he was to people. So I don't see him coming back. That's the main reason SMG didn't want to do any return to Buffy, because she didn't want to work with Joss Whedon again. It was horrible. But there were other people involved with Buffy the Vampire Slayer that made it so good. Other writers and producers. Marty Noxon, Jane S. Benson, Tim Minear, David Fury, David Greenwalt, who else? I'm forgetting someone. Those people need to be involved in some capacity, because that group of people is what made Buffy so amazing. Their writing, we need those people involved. Those people were the voice of Buffy. They were. Maria Graciela asks, I'm sorry, I said that really weird. I apologize. I don't know why I did that. But Maria asks, what's the name of the actress from American Pie who's also in the Buffy series? Her name is Allison Hannigan, and she is returning for the sequel series. She has to. If she doesn't, I riot. But it was Willow, Allison Hannigan's character, that created the Slayer army using the scythe. Truth. I hope this girl doesn't have social media. Poor girl's going to get attacked so bad. And that, unfortunately, is true. And it breaks my heart. It really does, because she doesn't deserve that. She's a child. Why can't people be grown-ups? Why? Like, come on. He did a terrible Justice League movie, Loki, and I will die on that hill. I feel like it was a mid-Avengers movie and a terrible Justice League movie. He should be ashamed of what he did. Absolutely ashamed. But I like the casting. I'm just very curious on the ledge of concerned about what her role is and what they're doing with that story. That's where my concern is. I don't want them to completely retcon everything that happened in season 7 and beyond, because Buffy fans have stuck around this entire time. Like, and we loved how that series ended. We loved the story that kind of carried on from that. And if you take that from the fan base that has stuck with you for 30 years now, that would be dirty AF. Dirty. Do I think this girl is an amazing casting choice for a lead in a show opposite Sarah Michelle Gellar? Absolutely. Do I want her to be the one and only Slayer? No. No, I do not. That would be very, very insulting, not only to the fan base, but for the work that you put out there before. Here's what it kind of reminds me of, and you guys are gonna be so confused, but just follow me, okay? Just stick with me. We'll get there. Many, many years ago, over 20 years ago, there was a show called The Surreal Life. And it was a bunch of kind of washed up celebrities living in a house together. And one of them was Rob Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice. And on the walls of this Surreal Life house, they had all these pictures of when they were super, super big or whatever. And they had the old Vanilla Ice pictures. And Rob Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice, would go up and spray paint over that stuff and just destroy it. I'm like, dude, that's what made you famous. Don't piss on that. That is what made you famous. Be grateful. Be grateful for what that gave you. You wouldn't be where you are now had it not been for this. So you should be appreciative of that. That's kind of how I feel about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff. Don't tear down and piss on the things that made it possible for you to have this opportunity to do the sequel. Don't do that. You're going to completely alienate your fan base, a fan base that has held on for over 20 years without any new content. Let's not do that. Omari, The Surreal Life. I thought that was a show with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. No, I think that was Simple Life. That was Simple Life. Yeah, Simple Life. Yeah, the TLJ effect, Last Jedi effect. Don't tear down what gave you the chance to make this property in the first place. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Respect your fan base. Respect your own content. I love this kid. I think she's a phenomenal actress, and I'm looking forward to see what she brings to the table. But dear God, please, 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 please do not retcon season 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or season 5 of Angel. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my goodness. Who has created credits? Oh, so IMDb has a page for Buffy. Kaz Kazooie is all right. Fran Rubel Kazooie and Kaz Kazooie were producers on the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and they're producing this as well. That is excellent, excellent, excellent news. Excellent news. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, guys, I got one more thing I want to share with you. So y'all know who Bane is, right? He's one of the most recognizable, one of the most popular Batman villains ever. Ever. Well, the guy who created him, Graham Nolan, has some new stuff going on. And I think he's wrapping up I think I shared I don't want to share that one quite yet. He's wrapping up the crowdfunding for it. Let me find the right screen. Where is it at? Here it is. It's called Escape from Monster Island. It's got a new thing going on. And he is looking for a little help to get it off the ground. He's a great writer. He's a great creator. And, I definitely believe that we should be supporting independent comic books because comics just haven't been the same for decades. They haven't been what they used to be. And a lot of that is because the big publishers like DC and Marvel got greedy. They got greedy. They weren't taking care of their creators at all. So let's help support one of the greatest comic book writers and creators out there. Omari, I'm the same way. This is why I like to read older comics. People ask me all the time, what's the new stuff you've read? Honestly, the only new thing I've read lately is Wonder Woman Historia. Because it's just not what it used to be. But independent comic book creators, big fan. Hell, technically speaking, I'm an independent comic creator. But none of you have read my script on Patreon and have given me feedback about it. And don't think I don't think about that at least 3 times a day. please, one of you read that damn script on Patreon and give me some feedback. I need help. I'm a little concerned though. I haven't heard back from my artist. Like, he keeps putting it off. So the whole thing may be dead anyway. But anyway, do what you can to help support independent comics. Let's bring comic books back to life again. Go check out Escape from Monster Island and get a perk while you're at it. Help Graham Nolan out. We've got the link in the chat below. Do your part, man. Check out Escape from Monster Island. All right, guys. That is, there's a trailer. We want to play the trailer. Okay, let me do this one more time. I'm not quite done, I guess. Here's the trailer. You know what that kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of New Frontier. Monster Island, A New Frontier. I like it. I like that vibe. Very New Frontier. So go check out Compass Comics. Go check out indiegogo.com/project/escape from Monster Island today. Help support independent comic book creators. Help support Graham Nolan. He gave you Bane. Okay. But if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, leave it in the chat below. We are wrapping this bad boy up today. We went long today. We had a lot to talk about. If you would like to help support the channel, thank you. We are over 4,000 subscribers now, but I'm still not monetized. The easiest way to help support the channel is also the freest. All you have to do is hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy nonsense. But wait, there's more. All the links I'm about to give you are in the description below. It's not free to edit videos. Well, it's not free to use this software. How about that? It's not free to use this software. And I got a lot of mom guilt in me. I got a broken light. I got a computer that's about to be a paperweight. And I'm not monetized yet. And that makes it really hard. And it stresses me out. It makes me think, if I can't get this stuff figured out, I'll have to shut the channel down because I won't have any way to run it. But if you would like to help with that, if you would like to help support the channel and help make sure that I can still deliver this stuff to you 4 to 5 days a week, a couple times a month with other things, then thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I don't feel like I say it enough, but I do. I really, really appreciate it more than you guys realize. And again, I can't keep doing it without financial support from viewers, subscribers like you. I sound like a PBS fundraiser, but it's true. It's very true. And if you feel moved to contribute and help keep this stream going, then I have options. First one is this QR code right here. That takes you to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua, and you can tip me as little or as much as you like. And all the proceeds go directly to this channel. On top of that, there's also Cash App. If you feel more comfortable using something like that, just use $ Danielle Sanssouci, and same thing. You can tip me as little or as much as you like. And that helps me pay for this software and equipment. If you would like something in return for your awesome, amazing, and thoughtful donation, might I recommend checking out the official Nerdling Army over at patreon.com/comics. And we have 3 tiers starting as little as $3 a month, and you get exclusive content, outtakes, behind the scenes, the exclusive Nerdling Army chat, and your own exclusive Nerdling Army merch that corresponds directly to your specific tier. And you get that every 3 months for the first year of your membership, with the option to purchase that exclusive merch from the Patreon. So go and check out patreon.com/comics. And today, become a member of our official Nerdling Army. I'll even put your name in the end credits. Every single member of the Patreon gets their name in the end credits. So check that out today. I'm also an affiliate for several things like corasvault.com/comics, and it's superhero Marvel collectibles. Like if you want an Iron Man helmet, a Spider-Man mask, or the proof Tony Stark has a heart arc reactor little mounted thing, go to corasvault.com/comics and use my code comicsand at checkout for 10% off your purchase. I also have affiliates for Leash Boss. Do you have a pup? Do you have dogs? We've got a couple here. You know this, and we love our dogs. We're very careful and cautious with our dogs. So we only shop with a company that loves and cares for them as much as we do, and that's Leash Boss. And Leash Boss has been so kind. They've sent us their stuffingless toys, which are so. Listen, Olive loves the stuffingless toys. She loves them way more than Tiny does. And you can get your own today too by going to this special link, and they'll even give you 15% off just for using my link. How nice is that? This channel is also powered by Red 5. We are members of the illustrious Red 5 Network. We are a collection of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators, and we love what we do. So if you enjoy what I'm putting out here, chances are you will enjoy more of what the Red 5 network of podcasters has to offer you. So go to red5.bio.link today to discover more of that. More of that. Hey, Comics Dad, welcome. One of our new subscribers, Comics Dad. Thank you for popping by. We're wrapping it up. We're almost done. Oh, Deranged Ninja says you're much better than PBS or NPR. Thank you. Penny's asking, how many more watch hours do I need? I need 900. I need 900. It's crazy. You'd think I'd already be there. I don't know what's happening, but I need 900 more hours. And it sucks. But I'm working on it. But that's all I got for you nerds today. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I got a lot of writing to do. I am so in the zone on the question breakdown. I'm having a great time with it. I mean, the connections the question has with Ayn Rand. I love Ayn Rand. I love her. And that just really, really got me into the question way more than I already was. So until then, nerds, be kind to one another. Stay nerdy, babies. And I will see you Monday at 11:30 Eastern a.m. But keep your eye out because I heard
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.